All right, so I've got pork chops done. I wrote what they are, bone in pork chops, and there were five. I thought it was four, there were five, and the date I packaged them, and I tried to squeeze out as much air as I could. If I really wanted to get fancy, and I should get my seal meal out, but I didn't. And so here, this is the chuck roast. I cut some more fat off of it. It was like 2.4 pounds, something like that, and I cut off a large hunk of fat. Now I'm doing the ground beef, and the reason I'm doing them, they're wrapped fine, is I want them to stack flat. When they stack like this, they take up more room in my deep freeze. I think I said that another time. So, pen, baggies, and my gloves. I change my gloves every time I start a new one so I can pick up the pen and, get a bag out, that kind of thing. Not only do they stack easier and with a whole lot less muss and fuss about room in the freezer, but they thaw much faster when they're this thin. And you could even, and I have done this, when they're stretched this thin, I have done hamburger squares. Lazy girl. While they're still frozen, you just kind of score them, and then as they thaw, snap them off. Okay, here's the last one. I'll show you in a minute. I'm thinking of 100 things at once. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. I bet I can't. They're pretty flighty. Oh, he's already gone. See, there's hummingbirds out here, and they go around to each blossom just like a bumblebee. It's so cute. All right, here's the last of the hamburger in a package. So that's a chuck roast, or pork chops. Under that is a chuck roast, and 5 pounds individually of ground beef, and it's 80-20, so kind of versatile. I've got 2 chickens left. I'm trying to decide how I want to package these. All right, this was a 2-pack, and I thought that they were a vacuum pack, but they're not. There's lots of air, which means lots of ice crystals. The longer they're in the freezer, the worse it gets. So I think what I'm going to do is take it out of this, lay it down on a sheet of press and seal, make it as tight as I can, and put that in a Ziploc baggie, press all that air out, and we'll have a better start than just this. So here's what I had to do with the chickens. A whole one doesn't fit in even my biggest Ziploc baggies, my gallon size, those. So I went and got out of my stash some jumbo 2.5 gallon storage sliders, and I wrapped each chicken individually, and there's plastic wrap under the foil. And because I thought I would use plastic wrap, I thought that the cling stuff, that press and seal, I thought that would work, but I'm going to have to use like 12 feet of it to, it doesn't work. So I did the press and seal, and then I did the foil here, and this is the heavy duty foil, and I squeezed they're still in their packages. I squeezed all of the air out that I could in a tiny hole, and then squeezed all of the air out because, the plastic around the chicken. And then I squeezed all the air that I could out of this. So, 2 individual chickens whole, and the date that I'm packaging them. Whew, that's it. That's it for the meat. I'm going to see about my pantries now, which is not as much fun, I tell you. I figured it would be okay, so I already marked up the bag, and so it didn't go in the little bag. It's the gallon-size bag, not even one, and get it zipped. So I went ahead and crossed it out, and I'll use it for something else, just around the house. There's lots of times when I need a Ziploc baggie to throw away something that's extra gross, like, something that sat in the fridge too long. What was it last? I can't remember, but it was just yesterday or the day before, and I went, oh yeah. My son stores up, he's always afraid he's going to be out of it, I guess. He loves to use bacon grease. So he had 4 cans of bacon grease in the door of the fridge. And I said, this has got to stop. And he said, oh, that's old anyway. I'll just get rid of it, put it in the garbage. And so turned out that one of them was not bacon grease. One of them was biscuits and gravy, like not the biscuits, but the gravy and the pork. And it didn't even have a date, but I'm telling you, I haven't made that in months. So I said, don't even open this one. It's not grease. It's what, I just told you it was. And I will get rid of that on my own. And I put it in a baggie, but it wasn't as big as this one. All right. Same day, different haul. I didn't go, but one of the kids did, to Costco in Gig Harbor. And he found this, and he's been looking for this. Milk and cream pistachio, some kind of chocolate coating, and international, what? Virality? Is that what that says? I don't get it. It goes viral in several countries. I don't know. But it's very, very popular, and everybody raves about it. But maybe that's because it's new. I didn't order this. Again, did not. I also didn't order a giant bag of kettle chips because I don't eat kettle chips in the first place, but that's a lot of chips. Okay, or that. Oh my word, I gotta peel that apart now. But I'm thankful, I am very thankful. This I did order. The Great American Road Trip, Route 66, so it's got 10, 2 of each. This one is Anchor Ginger something beer. Ginger root beer? Yeah. No. Yes, ginger root beer. Huh. Frosty's Blue Cream, which we can get that here in our county. I mean, at the store. Triple Cola. Is this the Brownie brand? I think it is. And then Bubble Up and Sioux City Cream Soda. So the box is kind of cool. In fact, I may peel this apart and if he'll let me have the box. I like that box. Okay, so I did order these. We want to stock up on our batteries, so we've got, it's so funny. I told him get 9 volts, AAAs, and Cs. Okay, so I saw it. Great, 9 volts, that's good. AAAs, that's perfect. And then I saw this and I said, oh no, these are C14s. And then it dawned on me there's 14 Cs. Anyway, that's a good stock up. We like to keep a stash of batteries, just in case we need them, and we often do. This isn't the brand that I typically get, but I did ask for albacore tuna, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cans. And it says it's sustainably pole and line caught. That's some fancy tuna. Tuna steak. Just tuna and sea salt. No water or oil. All right then. And I asked for some rice. I said, get a bag of rice. That's a 25-pound bag of rice. The good news is it was only $20, which I think is a pretty good deal. I'm going to have to put this under somebody's bed, I guess. Mine. Because I don't know where else I'll put it. Long grain, naturally fragrant, Thailand's best rice, 20 bucks. Did I show you everything? I think I did. Oh, we each got a hot dog. We ate them. So, the jasmine rice was $20.79. The wild caught albacore, $15.99. The Duracell AAAs, $19.99. The Duracell 14-pack for the C's was $18.99 minus $2. And the Duracell 9 volts were $20.99 minus $2. They were on sale. Kettle vinegar chips, $6.99. The Dubai chocolate bars, $17.99. How many are in here? 10. Wow. Miss Patience was looking for those. A rotisserie chicken, $4.99. An American Route 66 soda. Got 10 sodas for $9.99, which I think is a great deal because at the grocery store, these little fancy vintage-like bottles are $2 a piece or more. And subtotal $132.31 and $6.46 in tax for a total of $138.77 at your local Costco. Okay, I think that's all I have. I hope you have a delightful Monday. Take care, everybody.